All right. What if one of North America's most famous legends has survived for centuries without anyone ever proving its existence? Today, we're talking about Sasquatch or Bigfoot. First, we're going to talk about the history. Second, we're going to talk about the scientific evidence. And thirdly, we're going to talk about the American culture of it. So it's according to John Green, author of The Apes Among Us, Bigfoot goes back centuries to the Native Americans in the Pacific Northwest. We're talking about California, Oregon, and Washington State. And he talks about how they saw a large human-like figure with hair. And it started there, the history of it, and that was actually even before the European settlers started. And then next, according to David Dingling, who wrote Bigfoot Exposed, an anthropologist examining Americans' enduring legend, talks about scientific evidence, eyewitnesses. He talks about how they interviewed multiple people that had sightings of Bigfoot, and their stories were really compelling. But when it actually come down to it, they just did not have any scientific evidence that could prove it. And the same thing with photos. They took photos, but it was distant. Really couldn't tell that couldn't prove it. And they even found some hairs that was turned over in the 70s to the FBI to examine, and it come out to be of the deer family. And the evidence just hasn't been there. There's never been found any skeletal remains or anything of that effect that would tie to a Bigfoot. That's what David Dingling, an anthropologist, said. And then Joshua Blue Booze, The Life and Times of a Legend, he talks about how Bigfoot is more than just a creature, how it's just become an American culture. In the 50s and 60s, it just took off by eyewitnesses, but that's when television had become big. There had made documentaries about it, and it just become a culture. Bigfoot this, Bigfoot that. I even myself, the first time I ever heard of Bigfoot was in 1976 off of a sci-fi show called The $6 Million Man. And in one episode, it talked about, it was Bigfoot. And the star of the show was Steve Austin. And so Steve Austin goes to the Pacific Northwest to see Bigfoot. And sure enough, their spin of it was Bigfoot was controlled by aliens. So that was another spin to it. So, but in conclusion, John Green has eyewitness reports. David Dingling, scientific evidence, could have it, and he says just couldn't find evidence to prove it. And lastly, Joshua Blues talks about how it just become a culture. Like you even see those little guys. People make these statues now in today's time with all of that. So, lastly, real or not, the legend continues to be one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in North America. Thank you.